This is Nintendo's 1992 release, Super Mario Kart. And this game was fucking fun. Let me tell you, I played this game many a weekend with my friends and competed all the time against them, and it was a blast. Now, when Super Mario Kart first came out, I was among the group that thought, oh, this looks stupid. It's some excuse to use some Mario characters in an attempt to sell a game that probably sucks. And I couldn't have been more wrong. I mean, yeah, it does use a lot of characters from the Mario series, in addition to Donkey Kong, and I think that's about it. Everybody else is from the Mario series. And I guess you could consider Donkey Kong from the Mario series, because it was kind of the introduction to both characters in the same game titled Donkey Kong. But anyhow, back to Super Mario Kart. Super Mario Kart is quite obviously a racing game, but not the simulator-style racing games, but a very fun arcade-style racing game that incorporates so many different things into such a small package that it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to play. There are two single-player game modes. There's the Grand Prix, which you're looking at, and there's the Time Trial. And the difference between the two is in the Grand Prix, you're racing against several computer-controlled characters, 7 or 8, I believe. Not positive, and I don't feel like counting them right now. And the Time Trial, you race against the clock. And there you have it. Two main game modes for the single player. Now, if you're playing Mario Kart, or I should say Super Mario Kart, with 2 players, there are different modes you can play, other than the one-player modes. And the notable different one is the battle mode. The battle mode, you have a choice of 4 different courses that are special courses, and they have all kinds of little power-up question mark blocks and things like that. And each player starts with 3 balloons tied to the back of their cart. And if you get hit with something like a shell or a banana peel or something along those lines, I believe, you lose a balloon. And if you lose all your balloons, you lose. And that's how battle mode's basically played. And it's great fun to play against a friend. But right now, I'm concentrating on the single-player mode. So in the Grand Prix or Time Trial modes, there are 3 different circuits of races, and each circuit consists of 5 different tracks. And in addition to these 3 different circuits with 5 tracks each, there are 3 different skill levels, 50cc, 100cc, and a special 150cc that you unlock after you collect all the cups from the previous circuits. Now, if you're familiar with the Mario Kart series, and the series has gone on for a long time, the most recent version of it is Mario Kart Wii for the Nintendo Wii, and that's a great game to play too, but this is where it all started. And you'll notice a lot of familiar elements if you've played Mario Kart Wii, like the shells. The green shell is a missile projectile that you can shoot in front of or behind you, and it just goes in a straight line, bounces off of walls. The red shell is a heat-seeking shell, and you can fire that also in front of or behind you, and it will go to the nearest enemy and hit them. Other power-ups include the familiar banana peel, which you drop behind you, and it just sits there until somebody hits it and causes them to spin out. And there is a mushroom, which is a speed boost. There's also the familiar invincibility star, and there's something called a feather, which when used allows you to jump really high, and that's useful for taking some shortcuts on some race tracks. There's also coins you can collect, and the higher number of coins you have, the higher your top speed is, but you do lose coins if you bump into a player, or if you fall off the track, or something along those lines. The coin aspect of the game is pretty interesting, and it's one that I forgot about. Oh, and if I didn't mention it, to pick up the power-ups, you simply drive over the question mark blocks. Now let me give the brief breakdown on gameplay. You use your B button to accelerate, your A button to use your special item or projectile, your D-pad to steer, and your right bumper to hop. Now you can also brake in this game, and also use your rear view mirror, which will take the place of your bottom map screen if you use it. And I forget which buttons they are because, frankly, I never use them. There's no real reason to brake in this game, and you might want to use your rear view mirror on occasion, but I tend to get by without using it. Now, of the 8 different characters you can choose from, they all have specific mild adjustment qualities to the way they handle and the way they play. But the only notable ones of real difference are both Bowser and Donkey Kong, who are much heavier and accelerate a lot slower, but I believe they do have a higher top speed. All the other differences between the characters are pretty much negligible. Now let me talk about graphics and sound. While the sound is enjoyable for this game, and it really fits the mood of each track, more or less, there's nothing else really noteworthy about it. But the graphics were very different for the time. They used something called Mode 7, which basically has to do with texture mapping and scalable qualities, and it helps create a real effective 3D environment. And not many games used it. It was a pretty new thing in terms of development at Nintendo. I think F-Zero was the first game to use it, and this was maybe the second or third, I'm not positive, but I'm sure someone will tell me, game to use it. And it looks a little blocky at times, but generally gives a great 3D effect. Super Mario Kart's a wonderful game. I definitely recommend picking it up if you have a Super Nintendo. I'm Dommy from Classic Games Revisited. Until next time.